can we talk about how Mima is my new fave? I love me some short and stout, some sweet but spicy Mima. Baby, she came in and shook the shit up, didn't she? Who would have thought that some Popeye's chicken, some Popeye's chicken would have had the girls in a frenzy? Now, I prefer KFC. I'm not a Popeyes kind of girl. I know everybody else likes Popeyes, but they chicken is chewy. I like the good old original recipe KFC. But hey, some of the girls get to fighting over Popeyes. You better believe we gonna talk about it. Welcome back to Damien After Dark. You're watching the all-new and official Young and Reckless After Show. If you have not subscribed yet, maybe you're new here, go ahead, click the subscribe button down below this video and turn on your post notifications so you never miss when I post a new video, okay? Also, if you don't mind, click that thumbs up button right down there below this video. Like the video, that helps me get into the algorithm so more beautiful people like yourself can find me, okay? Also, join the conversation. I want to hear from you guys on what you thought about this episode of Young and Reckless, and whose side are you on? Are you Team Mima or are you Team Naj? Let me know in the comments, okay? Last but not least, if you want to support the Damien After Dark movement, in the description box below will be ways that you can donate using PayPal, Cash App, Venmo, or Zelle. I will also post my Amazon wish list there for those that choose to take that route. Thank you guys for the likes, subscribes, donations, love, and support. Mwah. Big kisses to you all, okay? I'm just dropping shit everywhere. So yeah, Mima is my new favorite. I love me some Mima. But before we get into Mima, pretty face with the skinny waist Mima, before we get into Mima, let's start from the top. Y'all know we work our way down over here. All right. We're going to start with Melanie Fox versus Ivory. Because let's be real, Melanie was about to be evicted anyway, right? She said she was evicting herself, but she was about to be evicted anyway. I don't think any of those girls fucked with her, but they didn't get a chance to get to know her. Melanie, you came in right off the rip chasing clout. You came in right off the rip chasing storyline. You came in right off the rip, loud, rumble in the jungle, let's go on raw time. And it's like, we got 7 whole days to film this show. You got plenty of time to act a fool and get your camera time. It's the first night. We tired. Lay your ass down. You know what I'm saying? But baby, Ivory, I had to give that fight to Ivory. Now, Melanie went toe-to-toe with Ivory. I feel like that's one person that I feel like Ivory kind of met her match. However, Ivory still whooped her ass. I'm going to say it. Ivory still gave her the business. Right? Do y'all agree with me on that? Do y'all think Ivory won that fight? Do you think it was a draw? Do you think Melanie Fox won? Now, keep in mind, they're outside of the rage room in the parking lot fighting. And now Ferrari, who I like, is starting to play into the Natalie Nunn role, which I don't like. Because I'm like, now Ferrari, if you're going to start doing this shit all season, boo, I don't want to have to call you out. But, you know, she's doing the whole, you know, oh my God, what are y'all doing? They're fighting again. You know, like, girl, come on. Like, you know what's going to happen. You know, like, let's wrap it up, sis. Let's wrap the act up. Y'all know one thing I noticed about this cast? This cast is casting, okay? I've said that before. This cast is the first cast I think I've seen on Zeus Network, and now that's TV. The first cast out of both of those networks that it gives me Bad Girls Club vibes. Like, this cast, to me, is it's what I feel like Oxygen would have chosen. Like, a professional casting department would have. Like, all these girls are different in their own way. Does that make sense? Of course it makes sense. Like, I feel like on a lot of these other shows, a lot of the girls are the same. They all look the same. The BBLs or, you know, or they're all street looking. They all, you know, they all might be a hood, whatever, right? But with this show, every girl has some individuality about her. Like, even down to Crystal. Crystal is so different from the rest of those girls. And not just because she's Latina and not black, but because of the simple fact that she's like the youngest and she's airheaded and like, you know, just naive and immature. Like, every girl is just different. And I like it. I like it. It's refreshing. Now, Zeus, though, y'all could take a page from them on that. And also, y'all could take a page from them on, did y'all see that Sprinter van they had the girls in tonight? That was like a 15-seater Sprinter. I didn't even know they had one that big. They had the whole cast on one Sprinter. I said, okay. Okay, now that's TV. So let's talk about the little situation between Legacy and Cass. So Cass wants to address Legacy on some shit that happened. It happened episodes ago for us, but for them it happened like a day ago. So Cass is trying to address Legacy on some shit that happened the first night, a day ago, right? And Legacy's trying to explain herself or whatever. Anyway, the situation, of course, turns into a physical altercation, and the girls are scrapping on the bus. And then messy ass Ivory is sitting there, hit her, wop, 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 fuck her up, wop. And at one point, she was holding Legacy, holding her hands back, doing something, to the point to where it turns into a jumping situation, because Ivory starts, according to Mima, doing the A-Town stomp on Legacy's head, while Cass is already on Legacy. And it's like, Ivory, what the fuck are you doing? Like, Ivory is a liability at this point. She has no stopping point. She has no self-control. She has no limits when it comes to fighting and the things that she will do. Like, she needs help. She needs therapy. Ivory really does. Because everything turns into a fight for Ivory. I feel like she gets off on physically harming people. And that's scary. Like, and to be honest, like, if we're going to be real about it, if I was producing that show, she would have to be sent home. Ivory would have to go. If the way she stomped on that girl's head, and I didn't really get a good look because they were on a Sprinter van. The Sprinter van is all black leather seats. It's dark, so you couldn't really see. But according to Mima, it was a A-Town stomp, and I'm sure that shit hurt because Ivory is a big girl. She a stout girl, right? You should have been sent home for that, Ivory. To be honest, I'm surprised your ass didn't get a battery charge, an assault charge for that shit. You could have put that girl in the hospital. You could have did some serious damage to her. Y'all keep playing around. Now, Kai says that Ivory put a battery in Cass's back and started that altercation. And I sort of believe it because, remember, it was alleged that Ivory put a back in Crystal's back at the club when Crystal went and poured the drink on Adriana. And I believe, because Ivory's not new to this. This is what, her third or fourth show on Now That's TV. I believe Ivory plays ghost producer. Ivory plays silent producer, and she tries to, and you need to stick to cast member, Ivory. Like, you're not a producer. Stick to. And Cass, you haven't said anything all season. So, because Ivory wants to put a AA Duracell in your back, now you feel like you've been quiet all this time. Now you want to pipe up. Now you want to pipe up and say something and try to be entertaining and get a moment and get some clout because somebody put some batteries in your bag. Okay, I got you. And Ivory, you should be ashamed. That was trifling. Now, Cass, when I get back to the house, Cass is talking to the other girl and she tries explaining herself. And she was like, the reason why I did it was because Legacy was doing too much on Instagram Live. And it's just like, girl, really? The issue was that deep? You're mad at something that happened outside of this show that was probably weeks or months ago? Like, do you even know the girl? Because it really felt like Cass was probably just like, you know what, I've been on this show for a couple of days. I don't want to get put up for eviction. I don't want to be boring. Let me spice this shit up. Let me fight this girl. Let me start some shit with this girl. That's what it was giving. And then did y'all peep how, so Cass, she was out there and she was talking to Kai and Savage and Charmaine. They're outside the back patio. They're talking. And did y'all notice how Charmaine just let Savage talk to her any old way? See, Charmaine shouldn't be there. Charmaine is not a baddie. Charmaine is not young and reckless. Charmaine is giving pussy at this point, okay? Because I've noticed a few things about Charmaine to where she doesn't speak up and stand up for herself. And I don't respect anybody that can't speak up and stand up for themselves. Like, I get being shy. I get being timid, scared. You know, it takes time to break out of your shell. And I get that. But you shouldn't be on a show like this. It's one thing to be shy, timid, whatnot, and be in the real world. Okay, cool. You know, that's just how some people are. But to come on a show to pretend you're young and reckless and you're a baddie when you're letting these girls talk to you worse than your mama would, yeah, no, ma'am. Because Charmaine tried putting her 2 cents in on the Legacy and Cass situation. And Sav was talking about something, and Charmaine chimes in, and Sav said, I wasn't talking to you anyway, I was talking to her. And Charmaine said, oh, and she went back to smoking her little blunt. I'm like, you gonna sit there and let her just punk you like that? And I'm surprised that Sav even did it. Like, I was shocked that she punked old girl like that, because I didn't think Savage was that kind of girl. You know, give bully vibes, bully tease. So I'm confused. I'm confused why Sav was being a bitch to Charmaine, and I'm confused as to why Charmaine let her. Because Charmaine, you a good one, because I would have said, I'm going to say what the fuck I want to say when I get ready to say it. Next question, next statement. You got something else to say? You want to do something about it? See, that's y'all's problem, and that's why these girls be talking to y'all crazy, because y'all don't do nothing. She's weak as fuck. And y'all remember, too, at the beginning of the season, when Legacy was sitting on the couch with Charmaine and Ivory was getting in their face. Remember that? Legacy was the only one that stood on business. Legacy was the only one that got up and defended herself. She's the only one that spoke up. Charmaine sat there as Ivory was in her face. Like, girl, it couldn't be me. Could never be me. Now, Ivory goes up to Legacy when they get back home and tells Legacy while she's sitting in the car, you know, the only reason I stomped on you was because the first day you snuck me. And Legacy's like, I didn't sneak you. You didn't see me walking up to you? And Ivory's like, no, I didn't. And if y'all remember, they replayed the footage. I honestly don't think Ivory saw her. It kind of was a sneak. Yes, Legacy was right there beside Ivory, but Ivory was kind of looking straight while Legacy was right here. So Legacy jumped up and attacked her. So you kind of sneaked her. There was no, I feel like if the person is not looking at you and you attack them, you're sneak attacking them. That's what a sneak attack is. Now, if Ivory was sitting there looking right at you, yeah, you didn't sneak her, but that's not the way it went, right? And then Ivory says she, but my thing with Ivory is, with her saying, you know, I didn't see it coming. I didn't see you. Did y'all see her? Or what did she say? Did y'all see me looking at her? I didn't see her, right? My thing is, Ivory, what do you expect? I think Ivory has gotten away with bullying girls and getting in their faces and punking them for so long that she's not used to some girls saying, clock, you know, I'm just gonna hit you right back. So she was thinking, I'm gonna get in these little skinny bitches' faces, Charmaine and Legacy, and I'm gonna talk trash to them, and they're not gonna do shit. That's what she thought. Now, can we talk about production for a minute? First of all, who is Kilo Sway? Kilo Sway. Whoever Kilo Sway is. Heavyset dude, big guy, right? I guess he's a producer. I don't know. That's another thing. They don't tell you who these people are. They just show their nicknames up on the screen. You had one woman that was a producer or somebody on production that popped up on camera, and her name was Queen. Girl, what's your government name? Kilo Sway, what's your government name? Enough with the motherfucking nicknames. Come on now. Y'all are grown-ass adults in their 40s and 50s up here talking about my name's Queen. My name's Kilo Sway. Like, please. I feel like I'm living in the fucking Twilight Zone sometimes watching these shows. And then if it couldn't get any worse, whoever the hell Kilo Sway is tells the girls, 4 of y'all are going to be up for eviction. Okay, cool. They're going to be up for eviction. How do you get nominated for eviction? How do you determine who goes home from eviction? Is there a competition? Is there a voting off process? You know, I got all these questions at this point. He says Melanie Fox, Savage, Crystal, and Shay are up for eviction. How did y'all determine that? That's what I want to know. Was that based off of... Okay, I take that back. The girls wrote down on the paper, right? Am I right? At the Rage Room, they wrote on paper who they wanted to go home, right? And I guess they narrowed it down to these 4 girls. Okay, cool. Okay, but the part that threw me off that I didn't like is he told the girls, he told the 4 girls up for eviction, you have 24 hours to prove why you should stay. And I just did not like that, because I'm like, what? That's what they got to do to stay? Like, that's so vague. That is so broad. Like, it needs to be more specific, like, because I feel like what's happening now, telling the girls they have to prove why they deserve to be there. And now you're going to get these 4 girls doing the most. Being extra. Not being themselves, pretty much. They're going to be on a reality show, except they're not going to be being themselves. Because they're told to prove why they should be here. So now they're going to try to think that they have to perform. They have to do whatever. I don't know. It was just stupid. Just let the girls all stay. Stop with the evictions. The evictions are stupid, in my opinion. To me, the evictions are stupid. And if you're going to do them, just let the girls vote who goes home. Period. Point blank. That's it. Then he says, the person with the biggest energy gets to be the host for next season. Y'all are so fucking lame. Come on now, that's TV. Come on now. I've been giving y'all props. But it's giving Zeus Network tease at this point. The person with the biggest energy gets to be the host for next season. That is just so dumb. Am I the only one that feels that way? That is so dumb. So now we got to run around and holler. Woo, we got to do all this. Child, I still got a tag on this bitch. Shows y'all how much I've worn this. So... the person with the most energy, so the girls have got to wake up on 10 every day. Like, I don't know. I'm over it. I'm over it. Y'all sound like Zeus. Anyway. Now, Crystal says she feels like she's underestimated in this house. And I'm just thinking, no, babe. You're immature. That's what it is. You're young, you're immature, and you're childish, and you're trying so hard to fit in with these girls. And you want them to like you so bad. And I loved that Savage called her out tonight on that episode. She called her out straight up about how in the club Crystal poured that drink on Andrea or whatever her name is, just, to try to prove something, just to try to look cute for Naj and Ferrari. You know what I'm saying? Like, she called her out, and I loved it. And, Naj did too. As much as I don't care for Naj, I really don't like Naj. I like how she checked Crystal for the bullying shit. Even though Naj can sometimes give bully to me. But she checked Crystal, and I like that. Naj tells her, I forgot what I was going to say. Anyway, sorry, y'all. And did anybody feel like Crystal sounded like a broken record at one point? She kept saying over and over again, like, I'm not a bully. I just want y'all to get to know me for me. I'm not a bully. Like, I want y'all to get to know me for, like, over and over. It's like, girl, we get it. We get it. Like, it is so obvious that she's, like, the youngest girl there. She gives me, like, a 16-year-old's vibe. She really does. I'm just like, girl, please. Now, one of those girls, who was that? Cuzzo. I like Cuzzo. Cuzzo is beautiful, stunningly, naturally gorgeous. No makeup on, no wig, whatever. And she seems like a pure, genuine soul. You know what I'm saying? Like, she's not a clout chaser. She don't care to be pussy popping and twerking for a bag of Coke and 25 cents. Like, I don't know. I just get good vibes from her. And what I liked about her is that she was better than me, because she told Crystal straight up that it seemed like Crystal was trying too hard to get acceptance from the other girls. And when she could have done it in a shady way and been like, bitch, you tried too fucking hard. You know, she didn't. She said it like a woman, like, you know, this is the issue, Crystal. I just feel like I feel like you tried too hard to make the girls accept you. And in exchange for that, Crystal was receptive to it. Crystal received it. And she took that in. And then she tried to explain herself to Cuzzo as to why she is that way. And she explained her upbringing and how she was bullied. And she says she thinks that maybe the reason why she tries hard to fit in is like a trauma response, because she tried so hard to fit in growing up. And I could see that. I could see that. Actually, I want to give kudos to the Now That's TV. Like, the way I was just dogging them, I want to give them their props too. Thank you for showing that scene, for giving us something different, some substance, letting us see layers to these ladies, because I got to see a different side to Cuzzo that I liked, and I got to see a different side to Crystal that didn't seem so thirsty and clout chasing. So thank you. Ferrari tells the girls that Legacy and Melanie Fox went home, which I think the last straw for Legacy was the A-Town stomp. And then, you know, I think after she got stomped, she probably thought, okay, let me hang in there. But then, you know, when Ivory came up to her in the car and was trying to tell her, you know, I only stomped you because you snuck me, you know, Ivory grabbed her by the head and pulled her. I think that was just it for her. I think, just like Savage said, I think she saw her face, how fucked up it was. Thought, bitch, I'm too pretty for this. This ain't enough money. $1,500 ain't enough money. I can make this at home in a week. Let me dip out. And I can't say I don't blame her. Ain't no bitch finna stomp on my fucking face and there's no repercussion for it. Oh no, I'm out. It's a wrap. Sorry. We're not gonna really talk about the paintballing, because there was nothing too exciting about paintballing. The girls went paintballing. I don't know about y'all. Paintballing has never been appealing to me. People have invited me before, and I'm like, no. Why am I gonna go pay to get pellets launched at me? Like, I get why it's appealing to some, but I'm a wuss. I'm a girly girl. I'm a dainty girl. Okay. I am such a girl. Like, I do not want you throwing. I don't want pellets shot at me. I don't want paint all over me. That shit be looking like it hurt. People be having webs on them. It's a wrap. I don't want to do the paintballing. But anyway, the girls went paintballing. When they get home, Mima is at the bar, minding her business, child, eating her Popeyes. Now, apparently, Mima ordered her some Popeyes from her Uber app, from her DoorDash, right? I guess the other girls was either being cheap, broke, or just didn't want to pay, or wanted to let production pay. And production, I guess, wasn't getting the ball rolling. And Naj is hungry. Naj is at the sink, popping off subliminals. You know, passive-aggressive subliminals, like, I'm hungry, and she over here eating chicken, and I ain't got my chicken, and you know, just doing the absolute motherfucking most. Like, girl, what? I'm like, Mima, what is you mad at? Do you want a wing? Here, put a wing in your mouth, ho. Put a wing in your mouth and sit down. Maybe you should. Maybe, you know, I don't know, because she's pissed. She claims she's pissed because her girls aren't fed, but you don't give a fuck about them girls, Naj. You don't give a fuck about them girls. Naj is one of those girls, and y'all know I'm a good judge of character. Y'all know it. So listen to me when I tell you about somebody. Naj is one of those girls that don't give a fuck about nobody but herself. Herself and herself only. She don't care. She's one of them. I'm telling y'all. That's why I don't bother. My girls are hungry. No, you was mad because you was hungry and you ain't got your food yet. Now, granted, also, I feel like sometimes, like personally for me, I don't feel comfortable eating in a room full of people who are hungry and haven't eaten yet. Like, say if a bunch of us are together, friends, coworkers, whatever, and everybody's hungry and we waiting for lunch and I've got food, I'm not gonna eat in front of you. That's just me. That's just me. That's kind of how I was raised. Now, Mima, on the other hand, I understand. She's new. She don't know these girls. She's hungry. Maybe she didn't know that production was buying them all food. Maybe she thought, I don't know. But I thought that Naj was doing way too much. Cause it's like, who appointed you? Who appointed you to be the production manager, Naj? Because that's the production manager's job to go around getting food, or to make sure the food's handled. A PA's job. Like, you shouldn't be worried about it. You running shit now? Or you just think you do? Nas, y'all, she just gets on my nerves. From the very beginning of this season, she has gotten on my nerves. She gives pick me vibes. She gives try hard. She gives thirst bucket. She gives, I want to take Ferrari's spot, and I'm going to stab her in the back to get that spot, no matter what I got to do. Watch that girl, Ferrari. She ain't your friend. And she looks crazy in her tattoo, in her confessionals. Did y'all see in her confessionals? She has a tattoo across her chest, and it says Nathaniel, but they misspelled it, and they put Nathaniel, Nathd, the letter D as in Damien. Nathaniel. I'm like, girl, you got this right across your chest. Anyway, the reason why I love Mima so much is because Mima may be short and stout, pretty face with a skinny waist, sweet and spicy. She might be cute, but Mima don't play. Mima said, I ain't gonna let you sit up here and talk crazy to me, bitch. You want a wing? You hungry? Mima said, I lost my appetite. I can't even eat no more. I'm so motherfucking pissed. I respect her for not letting that hyena talk to her in any kind of motherfucking way, because that's what Naj is giving, a hyena. You knew what you was doing, Naj. Because Naj just kept saying, I'm not talking to you, but you knew what you was doing. You didn't put a name on it, so you could say, I'm not talking to you. And you didn't put a name on it because I don't think you really wanted to smoke it first. You was doing the passive-aggressive subliminals because you wanted to show out in front of all these girls and the camera crew and production and Mima, the new girl. You thought you was that girl. But it's giving Dope Fiend on 57th and Crenshaw. That's what Naj be giving me. She be giving like she go back there and do it and come out. Now, Naj and Mima are going at it. One's on one side of the bar. The other's on the other side of the bar. They're going at it. Naj launches something at Mima. Mima launches it back. Naj ducks and misses it. They go around the bar. They go at each other. And I ain't gonna lie, it looked like Naj was giving her the business. It looked like Naj was souping her up. But I'm going to wait till next week. I'm going to hold my opinions. I'm going to hold my judgments and wait until next week because I don't know. Editing is a motherfucker. And they had that slow motion Bad Girls Club edit going on like. So I'm going to wait till next week. We're going to see what happens. And we're going to talk about it and break it all down here. But I would love to know, whose side are you on? Naj or Mima? And how do you feel about Legacy and Melanie Fox going home? Whose side are you on when it comes to Melanie Fox and Ivory? And what about Legacy and Cass? I want to hear all your thoughts and opinions. Join the conversation by getting in the comment section below. And don't forget, if you're new here or you haven't subscribed yet, to click the subscribe button and the bell icon to turn on your post notifications. That way you never miss a video, okay? Also, if you don't mind, click the thumbs up button right down there below this video. That's how you like the video. Liking this video will help me get into the algorithm so more people like your beautiful self can find me here, okay? Last but not least, if you want to support the Damien After Dark movement, in the description box below will be ways that you can donate using PayPal. Cash App, Venmo, and Zelle. I'll also post my Amazon wish list there. Thank you guys so much for the subscriptions, likes, support, donations, and love. And we'll see you next time on Damien After Dark. See ya.